Yeah, good morning, friends. So today we shall discuss on two important graph theoretical parameters, which are domination number and covering invariance. So now look at the definitions of covering invariance. There are four types of covering invariance. First one is vertex covering number, edge covering number, vertex independence number, and edge independence number. Now look at the definition of a vertex covering set. A subset D of a vertex set is said to be a vertex covering set if every edge in G must be incident to at least one vertex in D. And the vertex covering number alpha naught of a graph G is the minimum cardinality among all vertex covering set. So meaning of this definition is what? You have to look at the minimum number of vertices which are incident to every edge in the given graph. So next definition is edge covering set. So same concept here we are applying for the edge set. A subset F of an edge set is said to be edge covering set if every vertex in G must be incident to at least one edge in F. And the edge covering number alpha 1 of a graph G is the minimum cardinality among all edge covering sets. So next one is vertex independence set. A subset D prime of a vertex set is said to be vertex independent set if the subgraph induced by D prime contains no edges. So that is what if I take an induced subgraph of D prime, then every vertex in that D prime must be isolated vertex. And the vertex independence number, which is denoted by beta naught of a graph G, is the maximum cardinality among all vertex independent sets in G. So again here we're applying same concept for edge set, and that is called edge independence set. A subset F prime of an edge set is said to be an edge independent set if the subgraph induced by F prime contains R copies of K2s. And the edge independence number, which is denoted by beta 1 of a graph G, so which is the maximum cardinality among all edge independent sets in G. Now, by taking an example, we shall discuss all these definitions. So here, consider a graph G. So in this graph containing 6 vertices V1, V2, V3, V4, V5 and V6, and there are 6 edges E1, E2, E3, E4, E5 and E6. So in this graph, so let us select any subset, say D. So D equal to V2, V3, V4, which is clearly a subset of a vertex set. So here you can see that V2 is this vertex is incident with E1, E4 and E2. So next V3. V3 is incident with E2, E3 and E5, and V4 is incident with E4, E3 and E6. So which implies that every edge of G is incident to at least one vertex of this set. Therefore, D is a vertex covering set of this graph. Further, you can see that you cannot get a vertex covering set of cardinality less than 3 in this graph. So this is one example, but if you select any other subset of vertex covering set, that cardinality must be greater than or equal to 3 only. Therefore, D is minimum. Therefore, this is the minimum, and vertex covering number of this graph is cardinality of D, that is 3. Now look at this graph. Again, same graph here. Here I am taking a subset of an edge set. So let F equal to E1, E5 and E6. So E1, E5 and E6. You can see that E1 is incident with V1 and V2, E5 is incident with V3 and V6, and E6 is incident with V4 and V5. So clearly E1, E5 and E6 covers every vertex in this graph. Further, uh, if we take any other subset of an edge set, cardinality of that subset is greater than or equal to F only. You cannot get a subset of an edge set which is cardinality of that set is less than 3. Therefore, F is a edge covering set, and alpha 1 of this graph is 3. Now look at independent set. So in this graph, we are taking V1, V6 and V5. So clearly V1, V5, V6 and V5 is an independent set because all are non-adjacent vertices. If I take induced subgraph of this, clearly I will get isolated vertices. V1, V6 and V5 are isolated vertices in induced D prime. Therefore, uh, and further one more thing is that you cannot get any independent set of cardinality greater than 3 here, because 3 is the maximum. Therefore, beta naught of this graph is 3. So similarly, next one is, here I am taking independent edge set. So E1, E5 and E6. So clearly induced, if I take induced subgraph of this, I'll get 3 copies of K2. This one K2, V1 to V2, this is a complete graph on 2 vertices. V3 and V6, this is also complete graph on 2 vertices, and V4 and V5, this is also complete graph on 2 vertices. Therefore, I will get 3 copies of K2s here. So clearly F prime is an edge independent set, and which is maximum for this graph. Therefore, beta 1 of this graph is 3. I hope all definitions are clear, and so very important theorem which is related to covering invariance is what? Gallali's theorem. And theorem statement of this theorem says that suppose for any non-trivial graph G of order n, we have alpha naught plus beta naught equal to total number of vertices in that graph, and alpha 1 plus beta 1 equal to total number of vertices in G. For example, here you can see that beta 1 is value is 3, and beta naught value is 3, and alpha 1 value is 3, and alpha naught value is also 3. If I take alpha naught plus beta naught, so which is equal to 6, so you can see that number of vertices in this graph are 6. So similarly, alpha 1 plus beta 1 is equal to 6, and similarly what cardinality of vertex set of G is 6 here. So for any non-trivial graph G, alpha naught plus beta naught equal to number of vertices present in that graph, and alpha 1 plus beta 1 equal to number of vertices present in G. Now recall the definition of a minimal dominating set. A dominating set S of a vertex set is said to be minimal dominating set if S does not contain a subset, say S prime, which is also a dominating set. So clearly, the domination number of a graph G is minimum cardinality among all minimal dominating set. So in my last lecture, I have proved characterization theorem for minimal dominating set, and statement of that theorem says that any dominating set S is minimal dominating set if and only if it satisfies one of the following condition. So first condition is what? If I take induced subgraph of S, and that subgraph must contain isolated vertices. And second condition says that every vertex in V minus S has a unique neighbor in U, unique neighborhood vertex in G, and that vertex must be belongs to S. This is what second condition of characterization therefore minimal dominating set. Now look at the results. So proposition 1 says that every maximal independent set is a minimal dominating set. Now look at the proof of this theorem. So first assume that S be a maximal independent set. Suppose if I take complement of that set, that is if S is maximal, and that complement must be a vertex covering set. And one more thing is that every vertex in V minus S is adjacent to at least one vertex in S. You can see that this is what definition of dominating set. Every vertex in V minus S is adjacent to at least one vertex in S. Therefore, S is a dominating set. Now, suppose assume that S is not a minimal dominating set. Suppose S is not a minimal means there exists a vertex, say V in S, such that if I remove that vertex in that set, that is S minus V, then also S minus V is a dominating set. So which is a contradiction to our assumption that S is maximal independent set. Therefore, every maximal independent set is a minimal dominating set. Now look at this graph here. V1, V6 and V5 is a maximal independent set here, and its complement is V2, V3 and V4. So according to that proposition, V2, V3 and V4 is a covering set. So clearly V3 covers E1, E4, E2, and V3 covers E2, E3, and E5, and V4 covers E4, E3, and E6. So its complement is a vertex covering set. Further, every vertex in its complement is adjacent to at least one vertex in D. You can see that V2 is adjacent to V1, V3 is adjacent to V6, and V4 is adjacent to V5. Therefore, V1, V6, and V5 is a dominating set. Suppose now I have to prove that this is a minimal dominating set. If I remove any one vertex in this graph, in this set, say V1, if I remove V1 means I will get V5, V6, and V5, V6 is not a dominating set because this set does not cover this vertex V1 and V2. Next, if I remove V5 means I will get V1 and V6. Again, V1 and V6 is not a dominating set because this set does not cover V4 and V5. So similarly, if I remove V6 means I will get V1, V5, and V1, V5 is not a dominating set. So clearly, which is a contradiction to our assumption that D prime is a maximal independent set. So as a corollary of this proposition, we can say that for any graph without isolated vertices, domination number is less than or equal to beta naught of G. So next, using Galileo's theorem, we can say that alpha naught plus beta naught equal to total number of vertices. So here I can replace beta naught by n minus alpha naught. So this is my second result. So proof of this theorem follows from Galileo's theorem. So next proposition, for any bipartite graph G, domination number is less than or equal to n minus beta 1 of G. And the proof of this proposition follows from the fact that for every bipartite graph, alpha not equal to beta 1, that is vertex covering number equal to edge independence number. So here already in corollary 2 we have n minus alpha naught. Here I am replacing alpha naught by beta 1. Therefore I will get n minus beta 1 here. So last corollary is for any bipartite graph G, domination number is less than or equal to alpha 1. So again, by using Galileo's theorem, if I replace beta 1 by n minus alpha 1, so I will get domination number of G is less than or equal to alpha 1. So these are the results I got. That is, for any graph G, domination number is always less than or equal to beta naught. Domination number is always less than or equal to n minus alpha naught. And domination number is always less than or equal to n minus beta 1. And domination number is always less than or equal to alpha 1. So please leave your comments in the below comment box. Thank you, friends.